everyone, welcome to A Godly Home. This is the Let's Talk Money video for April, and this should have been out on Monday, and I usually do it as a live, but I have really been hard pressed to even get it out today. We've got this stuff going on with my grandmother. Plus, I've been asked to do all the food for my uncle's funeral. So I have been cooking and freezing, and we're not doing that till next month, so it gives me plenty of time. But my spare time has been very used up, and I'm very tired and running behind on everything. But I'm here, and if I don't do it now, I'm not going to get it done. So it has been a struggle this month. We have had reduced income. We've been trying to cut our expenses as much as possible, relying on God, because God is the number one thing when it comes to our money. He leads, He guides, He provides. And sometimes you get in those positions where your income's been cut and you do rely on God. And that's actually the best place to be. You're going to see me keep looking at my notes here. Before I get into what we spent and all of that, I had a question from a viewer, and I answered it in the comments a little bit, but I wanted to really answer it on here. She wanted to know if we charged our adult son rent. And we don't charge him rent. But I do not think that it's wrong to charge your adult kids rent. It's just that he's super good with money, and we would rather him be preparing for his future than charging him for rent, because we don't need the money and he's not wasting the money. And where we homeschooled him, we started letting him handle his money for things that he needed in a small amount of allowance from probably at least 10 years old on. So he really got a feel for money. And we always gave him access to being able to look at our bank account and see how much we had, how much bills cost. It was all part of what we did with homeschool. So that's why we don't. Now, if our adult son needed the experience with money like that, we absolutely would. If we needed the money, we absolutely would, because I am a firm believer that families help each other. In fact, our family looks after each other 4 generations at this point. If anybody's having a hard time, 4 generations of our family will back them. That's the way families should be. So it's just a different situation. But if you're out there and you're wondering, should you charge your adult kids rent, I would say if they need the money, experience. And if you need the money, it's absolutely acceptable. Okay, so we had reduced income this month with cut hours at the mill, a week off, unpaid. We did have God provide some income for that week, but definitely a tight month. What I like to do when it's super tight like that, take advantage of what we have. Don't spend anything extra. Don't buy anything extra, even if it's a super deal. That's how we like to handle those things. So this month, our electricity bill was only $77, which was a blessing. We had enough solar credits. We're in the solar program. And we had enough credits from last month to roll over. That's why it's so cheap. Our insurances were $174.23. We set aside for heat and house taxes all year long, so we had $200 towards those. Cell phone. Corey was paying $38.10 a month for his cell phone. And he called them, and they said he was on like an obsolete plan that they don't offer anymore. And they offered him a plan for $31.74, roughly a $7 savings per month, which included more data that he was currently getting. That is a wonderful blessing. My cell phone, $33.10 a month. Our internet and home phone was only 19 cents this month because of a credit from a previous month. Antivirus, $7. So our total monthly expenses were $523.26 as far as monthly bills. That's pretty cheap. I would be curious if any of you have your monthly bills come to less than $523.26. Okay, so food, hygiene, household, all that kind of stuff. We reduced that a lot this month. We spent a total of $563.60. That's a weekly average of $140.90. And that was reducing what we spent the month before by $279.08. Why? How could we go that cheap? Well, Corey's been out fishing every week, and he has been catching enough fish to feed us one meal and put some in the freezer for next winter. We are eating from our food storage, getting some of that used up and not trying to replace it right now. Becky sent us those nice food items. We've been using some of that. Nessa from Nessa's Nook sent us that 10-pound can of cheese sauce. We've been using from that, and she always keeps me in freeze-dried food. I've been taking advantage of those items, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. We've had great coupons at our grocery store and good sale prices, finally, after going through the winter with horrible prices. So we've been taking advantage of all of that. Now, what went bad on our groceries for the month of April is we had purchased 19 pounds of hamburger that got recalled, and they would not refund for that. And my entire hamburger stash went... Sorry, Slippy's barking. My entire hamburger stash went into the trash. Now, we had been eating off of that for several weeks before they recalled it, and we were not feeling well, but we didn't realize what was going on with it. So when they recalled it, I dumped it in the trash. Now, what do we do as frugal people? We buy it when it's the cheapest price. We bring it home. We pre-cook some. We break it down into small packs of about half-pound packs so we could stretch it. We don't leave it in those big bulk packs. They would not refund me for it. Luckily, we had just 6 pounds of it left when they recalled it. Not that I am glad that we ate all of it. I wish we hadn't eaten any of it, but it is what it is. And I threw 6 pounds into the trash. Nessa had sent us that freeze-dried hamburger. I always have that on hand because she keeps me in it. What I did at that point is I did not go buy a whole bunch more hamburger because I thought, are they going to recall the next batch? I've already spent my money for the month in hamburger and thrown it into the garbage, and I had plenty of other food in the house, but I got into her freeze-dried hamburger, and we used that on tacos and pizzas and wherever we could use that to take the place of what we had thrown away. So thankful for that. Okay, so then miscellaneous for the month. I spent $25 out of my spending money, and Corey spent none out of his. And I used mine for things I normally wouldn't have to use my spending money for, but we were cutting back and I had the money saved out in cash. So rather than take it out of checking or something like that, I picked up that food that you saw me get on the day up to my grandmother's. I got like a frozen pizza, some chips and dip, and chocolate milk to surprise Jacob with that night. I paid for that out of my money. I had run short on one kind of my vitamins, and I picked up a small thing of those to get me through. And then a container of lard for soap making, and $25. That's what that cost me, and I just took it out of my spending money. I needed $37.99 for Sloopy stuff this month, and that was not dog food, just additional things. Hardware store, $63.18 there, and Corey gets a discount there. So if you're wondering why do we always have a hardware store bill, because it's not just building supplies. We did get some things to do projects on the house, but we can get like our gardening stuff there on a discount, tools on a discount, batteries, phone chargers, laundry detergent, dish soap, all that kind of stuff. We just kind of take advantage of that hardware discount. So I think that day we had like a handle for a broken shovel, and I had some garden seeds, and Corey had a tool for working on the pickup, and I got a thing of potting soil, and we got some things like outlet covers for the kitchen, got that taken care of, stuff like that. So that's what that is when you see that charge. Oil change for the pickup and an air filter, that's under miscellaneous because it's just normal things that you do. It's not a breakdown. $65.24. So the miscellaneous category came to $191.41. For gifts this month, I spent, for April, I spent $0. I had purchased some previous months that I would need for April. Let's see. Now, gas. We have basically never needed a vehicle for Corey to get back and forth to work. One time he had a job, very short term, that he had to do that, but generally speaking, he was always a truck driver, and he brought his truck home, and if he wasn't driving truck, working for a logging company, they sent him home in a company pickup, or working at the mill, him and Jacob worked the same shift, and he just rode with Jacob, and that always left a vehicle at home for me, and we never had the cost of gas to go back and forth to work. This month, with the guys working opposite shifts, we've had the cost of the gas, and we have had no transportation for me. So our total gas this month was $260. Last month our gas was $167.23. That was an increase of $92.77, and I don't think that's a full month that he's traveled back and forth yet and used his own vehicle. I think it's just been a few weeks, so they'll probably increase more next month, but we've really been feeling that. Marissa's going to kidnap me this weekend and take me out because I have been like just stuck to home. I saw my grandmother 2 times a couple of weeks ago. I caught a ride with Mom, and I caught a ride with Jacob to see her, and then I saw her last weekend, and Corey drove me there on his day off, but I'm really not getting out of the house. I really can't go anywhere. And you know how it is, like maybe I normally don't want to anyways, but knowing that I can't, it adds a whole new level of wanting to. So that's been interesting. Um, Eating out, $0. Entertainment. These are areas we plan for every year. Um, my gardening stuff, I know I could put that under food, I could put that under my spending money, but I put it under entertainment. I give myself about $50 a year on gardening supplies, and I picked up a perennial chocolate mint plant for $7.98. I do usually one perennial a year. Uh, but I'm going to be ordering some more this year because I didn't need so many seeds because I do so much seed saving now with the heirloom varieties that I really don't need a lot in seeds, and anything I need with the hardware discount is pretty inexpensive. Potting soil and stuff was like dirt cheap at the hardware. And then Corey's hunting and fishing license combo, $47. And so our entertainment was $54.98. Now you might be asking, is that fishing license worth it? Yes, it is. He catches plenty of fish to cover that, not counting what he might get hunting, and it's entertainment. You'll see later on when we get into the summer, I will get just my fishing license because I like to fish also. And emergencies, we had $249.99 on a part for the pickup, and we had $97 in washing machine parts. Total $346.99 in the emergency category. As always, my donations and mystery money are private. I will never share that. What was the total of what we spent this month? We spent $1,940.24. That includes the breakdowns of the pickup and the washing machine. Our income was reduced by $871.88 this month. Okay, and in the past, we have spent way more than we did this month. In December, we spent $2,470.92. January, $2,856.32. February, $2,194.23. And March, $3,039.17. And again, this month we spent $1,940.24. So you can see how we're able to just, when money gets less, cut way down on what we're spending. We're spending more. It's because we have the extra and we can. Now, you might be asking, okay, how can you take a cut of $871.88 and make ends meet for the month? Well, because our monthly bills are so low, because we don't overspend any of the months, we always put money aside for times of emergency. We don't eat out, so on and so forth. So we ended up this month with some blessings. We had $470 in unexpected income, which was figured in on that total, by the way. We would have had less. We would have had even more reduced income had it not been for the $470 of unexpected income. And We did not touch our savings this month, even with the pickup breakdown, the reduced income, and the washing machine breakdown. And we added to our savings. How and why? Because God is good. That's why. He takes care of us. He helps us. I'm just checking my notes here. I know there was more I want to talk about. Making do. Okay. If you watch my day in the life, you see me mending clothes. You saw me using the washboard to save from going to the laundromat. Using less ingredients in my cooking. It's amazing how much you can cut back on these things. Ignoring things that we normally buy, even if it was a super sale, we just ignored it. It wasn't the month for us. No super sale would be worth spending on a month that your income's reduced that much. Using what we have. Making do. And I think that's about it for what I wanted to talk about for the month. Now, Sunday, my Sunday school lesson was about money. And I'm not adding that in on this money chat, but I will definitely be adding that in either next month's Let's Talk Money video or one of the Testimony Thursdays after we finish what we're currently doing. So anyways, it was a good Sunday school lesson, and I think the topic on money was fantastic, the way it was taught, and I definitely want to cover that with you guys. But I actually need to go study, get ready for Testimony Thursday, and get that video filmed right after this video. So I definitely don't have time for today. Leave me some comments. I'm probably not going to be at this premiere. I'm running way too far behind to be at this premiere. But leave me some comments. Tell me how you're doing financially. If you have some goals. Whatever you want to tell me. And I'm pretty excited with how we turned out for the month of April. All I can say is God is good. He's just good. That's all I can say. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.